You wouldn't build a house without a foundation, so why try to build a business without one? Grow your contracting business and grow your mind with Growth Mindset Monday.
Hey, Gerritt, I don't think we can hear you. Your mic is muted. There we go.
Is that better? I mean, now? All right. I'm literally just talking about we're just setting up our new system. I got to figure out how to turn this music off. Good music, though. All right. You guys know the drill. If you're here live, go drop your name and your business name in the chat, and we'll give you the good old shout out. Happy Monday, February 16th. Hopefully all of you had a nice little holiday weekend, as they like to call it. I don't even know what today's holiday is. It's just an excuse not to work. That's what I think. But anyway, I'm at work, probably like you guys are. We've got, let's see, the Irvin Corp out of Richmond, Texas. No idea who exactly with the Irvin Corp, but happy to have you. Welcome to the show. So it's funny, right? This weekend was for us, it was Valentine's Day, and then it was my daughter's birthday. She turned 23. And then today's a holiday. Like, there's all these things kind of happening, right? But more than anything, I'm going to let you guys know about the fun that I had. So first of all, look at this. We got this will go up on this wall back here. We got some pictures that we're going to be putting up in the office. Look at that. By the way, these are not fake pictures. They are real pictures. How do I know? Because we took them. Got a couple more back there. So what made this weekend different from other weekends? Well, here in Utah, once a year, they have a big Western hunting expo, right? And what is this expo all about? Well, it's all about people who like to hunt, people who like to fish, right? And that's hunting with guns, hunting with arrows, didn't matter. It's a big hunting and fishing expo. And it is massive. We're talking like 100 or 200,000 square feet of vendor space and things happening. So I have a really good buddy. He's a contractor and his name's Adam. So Adam invites me down and he's like, hey, you want to come down to this expo? I'm like, sure. So he invites me down. The first thing that we do is we go to the auction. Now you might ask, well, what are they auctioning off? Well, they're auctioning off hunts. And I'm talking about hunts to go whitetail, to go moose hunting, to go hippo hunting, to go alligator hunting, hog hunting. And I'm talking about all across the world. Red stag in New Zealand. You're talking about zebra in Africa. You're talking about bear in Canada, right? All of these different places that you can go and you can hunt, from Alaska to New Zealand, Australia, Africa, all over the place. Now, I can't get the picture on my computer screen, so my bad, but I'm going to show you a picture of one of the auction pieces, and I want you to guess how much this piece went for. Let me see here. So this was let me find it here. Here we go. So you can kind of see there in the picture, it's a bighorn sheep, okay? And this was in a particular part of southern Utah, right? This sheep right here, you can see me there in the audience there. This sheep right here, okay? Anybody want to guess what that thing went for? $120,000. $120,000 for that hunt, which is, it's here in Utah. It's like 3.5, 4 hours from where I'm at. $120,000, which by the way, doesn't guarantee that you're going to kill the animal and be able to mount it. No. This is just for the opportunity to be able to hunt, right? That's it. We got Cora says hi. We've got Damien who says, I meant to say hi. All good. We've got Northeast Service Mechanical out of Oklahoma. Welcome to the show. Again, if you're here with us live, go and drop your name and your business name, and we'll give you the good old shout out. Now, why am I talking to you about a $120,000 bighorn sheep hunt in the mountains of southern Utah? Well, that brings us to the topic for today. Now, if you notice, today we're talking about what do you do when the referrals dry up? Like, what are you supposed to do, right? Now, unfortunately, every year, right around the holiday season, right around winter, referrals start to dry up. Why? You guys ever stop to ask yourself? Well, it's because there's less jobs. There just is during this season. People start to take vacations. My sister's on vacation in Mexico for 10 days, right? People start to go on vacation. People start to say, okay, where do I actually want to spend my money this year? And so they're a little smarter about that, right? They're not building as much because of the weather and the implications of the weather and the snow and the cold and everything else. Like, it just slows down. And for a lot of you, you have a strictly referral-based business, meaning that you rely on referrals in order to land more jobs. It's not a good or a bad thing. It's just the reality of your business model. And if that's the case, what do you need to do when things start to slow down? What should you do when things start to slow down? We got Rachel with NSP Construction in, I think that's West Virginia. Welcome to the show. We got James with Jesse James Outlaw Electric out of Tooele. Welcome to the show. Now, what are you supposed to do then when those referrals start to slow down? A lot of you guys are part of networking groups, which I think networking groups are great when leveraged properly, right? But what do you do when those referrals start to slow down? When all of a sudden the phone's not ringing, when all of a sudden your buddy doesn't have anything, you're just meeting for coffee and you're all staring at each other awkwardly, right? What are you supposed to do? So let's go back to my Western Hunting Expo story. The guy I went with, his name is Adam. Adam is in the commercial space, the large commercial space. He does a lot of waterproofing, air barriers, things like that. The reason that Adam was at the Western Hunting Expo wasn't just because he's probably going to buy one or two of those hunts because he loves to hunt. No, my friends. The reason he was there was because of the people that are there. The reason he was there is because he understands in order to grow a sustainable business, right? He can't just rely on referrals. He has to learn how to market himself and his business. He learned a long time ago that relationships are the name of the game. Referrals come from, you guessed it, relationships. Direct jobs, they come from relationships. So unless you're at a point right now where your only source of jobs is Facebook, Instagram, Google, which none of you guys are, then you have to learn to double down on relationships. And I can tell you from experience that Adam has taken multiple partners, we'll say, on these hunts with him, right? Whether that's black bear, whether that's fishing, whatever the thing is, because he's learned that if he wants to land big jobs, now, mind you, he's in the large commercial space, so his jobs are anywhere from, $250,000 to $1 million. If he wants to land these jobs, he has to spend the time and the energy building the relationships that will land these jobs. Okay. Now, too many of you, and I know this because I was like you back in the day, too many of you think that just by showing up, people are going to want to do work with you. People are going to want to refer to you, right? Like BNIs. I'm not going to be nice. I'm going to make fun of them though. So BNIs, right? You go as a guest or you go as a member, you get like 30 seconds or 10 seconds or whatever it is to stand up, introduce yourself, and then you sit back down, right? It's like, well, how do you get to know me? You don't, right? So just being in the room just being in the room is not enough. We got Stacy with Great Solutions saying hi. Hello, Stacy. Then we got James who says relationships have gotten us about a third to half our yearly income. They're so important. Yes, sir, my friend, they are. But how? How do we actually do this? So I'm going to let you in on a couple little secrets, okay? Back in the day, for those of you that don't know, I was a police officer, okay? And I worked in the Phoenix metro area. I spent a lot of time working undercover. I worked narcotics, a lot of this stuff, right? Non-traditional police work. I wasn't pulling you over for speeding. If you and I were talking, there was probably a whole lot of bad stuff happening, okay? Now, in that world, it was exactly the same. Now, I didn't know it at the time, okay? But it was exactly the same, right? How do I convince somebody to want to sell me a stolen car, stolen guns, drugs, right? How do I convince somebody? Well, I got to get to know them a little bit, right? We got to build this relationship. And so I would show up and I would find a reason to have a conversation with them. Sometimes it was what they were wearing. Sometimes it was things I saw on the wall or in their car. Sometimes it was other people in the room, right? But I had to think quickly so I could have conversations with people. Here's a real easy one for you. A lot of you guys got tattoos, okay? Even if you don't have tattoos. When you see a tattoo, you could awkwardly stare at the tattoo. What is that? Or you could start to have a conversation around the tattoo, right? I don't have any tattoos. They're not my jam, but I love really good looking tattoos. So every time I see a piece of a tattoo, right? Or an arm or whatever, I would say, hey man, what's your favorite tattoo? That single question has led to more work than I can even explain to you. Okay. Think about it. You're not talking about you anymore. You're talking about them. So the first step in building relationships, okay, is you have to understand it's not about you. They don't care what you sell. They don't care how many years of experience you have. They don't care. What they care about is themselves, okay? And your job is to learn more about them. The only way you're going to be able to solve somebody's problem or present yourself as a solution to someone's problem is you start to have a conversation. Here's another example. I go to CrossFit, not because I'm good at it, but because apparently I like to suffer, right? So I go to CrossFit and I usually go at 5 a.m. and we have our group at 5 a.m. We're always talking and I know everybody, they all know me. 6 a.m. rolls in, but they roll in a little early, right? And we have a conversation in passing. Well, there's one particular girl, her name is Natalie. She's a real estate agent. And I've had multiple conversations with Natalie, not around business. She knows what I do and I know what she does, but just conversations in passing. How's your husband? Hey, this workout's hard. Hey, nice new shoes, right? Just different things here and there. In fact, we talked about social media the other day. And she said, hey, I've got a new client that's looking for this commercial space. It needs to be secure. They're in the aerospace industry. And she starts going off on this potential new client, right? And she's like, do you know anybody that can help me with this? And I was like, well, are you looking for construction help, for architectural help? Like, what are you looking for? She's like, somebody that can help me build it. I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, wait, isn't that what you do? And I was like, yeah. Right. And so now we're in conversation for this potential new job. Again, all about the relationship. Going back to Adam, I can tell you, right? Because we talked about this on Friday when we were there. I said, how much of your work percentage wise comes based on your relationships? He said, I don't know, probably 80 to 85%. 80 to 85% of his jobs come off of the relationships that he's built and that he's continuing to nurture. 80 to 85%. So I ask you right now, if you're struggling with a lack of leads, right? If you're struggling with a lack of leads, what is it that you need to do? Well, let's think about it. Okay. Number one, and I've already talked about this, is relationships. Okay. Now, if you don't know how to build a relationship, I'm going to show you very easy steps. Okay. Number one, and this is the most important part, by the way. Okay. It all comes back to marketing. By the way, building relationships is marketing. Figure out who you want to work with is the first thing that you got to answer. Okay. What do I mean by that? Well, like us, for example, we do commercial interior work. That's what we do. And so if you come to me and say, can you build out my basement? I'm like, no, that's not what I do. right? Or, hey, can you help me with my furnace? No, that's not what I do, right? I do commercial interiors. So my job is to, one, get clear on what I do and who I do it for. Then the second step comes into play, which is, where are these people? Where are these people that I want to do work with? Okay. So for me, I go and I network with people I know are already doing these type of jobs or have access to the type of people that do these type of jobs. Case in point, last Tuesday, went to lunch with my buddy Jaron. We got sushi. I love sushi, by the way. Don't ever gift me sushi. Give me a gift card, not sushi. I don't know. Like, kind of weird. Take like a few days to get here, be all spoiled. So we go out to lunch, right? Jaron and I. Well, we're friends, right? And I haven't caught up with him in a minute. Jaron, what's going on in your life? And he tells me he went to Taiwan and, talked about that experience. And then I tell him, I'm like, hey, we're doing this type of work now. And he's like, oh, well, so am I, but I'm building and I'm landing these projects. We got this big project. Would you be interested in it? I was like, yeah, right. Again, the relationship. So number one, figure out who you want to work with. Number two, either get directly in front of them or find out who has access to them. James has another example here. He says, I landed a job with a facilities management company last week by giving my card to a manager of a restaurant chain to fix their electric sign out front just because I started a convo about it. That's awesome. I love that, James. Well done. So as you're looking at relationships and this whole game of relationships, you have to understand it's about people, right? It's about humans. James is out at a restaurant. He notices the signs out. Hey, if you need somebody to help you fix your sign, I'm your guy, right? You have to be willing to have the conversation. Listen, I know most of you are craftsmen, which means you're really good at doing the work, whatever that work is, electrical, plumbing, drywall, paint. You're good at doing the work, okay? But you have to learn how to build relationships. If you want to call it marketing, call it marketing. People are scared of the word marketing, so don't call it marketing. Just call it shaking hands, kissing babies, right? It's just building relationships. Tomorrow, I'm headed out to IBS. No, not irritable bowel syndrome. The International Builder Show in Orlando. Guess what I'm doing there? Building relationships. I've got 3 friends there already. In fact, one of them, Justin, already texted me and said he walked by Eli Manning, right? But it's all about relationships. I can't tell you how many, not tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. I'm talking about millions of dollars of work have come my way because of relationships. So if right now the leads are drying up, so if right now you're struggling with figuring out where that next job is going to come from, start to open your mouth. Start to talk to people. Treat them as a human. Get to know them. Eventually, they're going to ask. It's a natural part of conversation. Well, what do you do? Perfect intro. You're not being pushy. You're not being salesy. And from there, I guarantee you will build relationships that will lead to work that will consistently keep your pipeline full. All right, that's all we got for you. We do have a special that we're running this week. If for those of you that don't know, we have our Blueprint program. Some of you guys have gone through it. Some of you guys are going to be a part of it. We have our Blueprint program. So we have a special going on this week. We have 3 more spots now left. If you guys are interested in that special, shoot me a message. I'm going to go ahead and drop my email here in the chat. Let me see if I can get it in here. Drop me a message. You don't even have to type anything other than in the comments. Just say Blueprint. Reach out, comment Blueprint. I will reach out to you personally and talk to you about it. Our Blueprint program is our 13-week foundational program. If you're doing 500K to about 2.5 million and you're struggling with the basics, with figuring out a marketing plan, with figuring out your team, with figuring out your processes, and you want to figure out how to be more profitable by putting those things in place, reach out, drop in the subject line, say Blueprint, and we'll reach out and have that conversation. All right. I appreciate you all being here, but enough about me. Now it's all about you. It's time to get to work. You guys know what time it is. 3, 2, 1. Off you go.